Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lori, the Frugal Mom, and most of my videos center around frugal homemaking, living a life of abundance on a low income, frugal cooking, lots of frugal cooking, and all things mom and midlife for us ladies. So, um, this is a little bit of a health update. Most of you know that I've been recovering from an esophageal tear that I went to the hospital for about 9 days ago. I was feeling pretty good the last couple of days. So today, since I've got some time to myself and I've been wanting to get some things upstairs done in my loft, that's what I was doing. I wasn't lifting anything heavy or anything like that. I was just kind of looking through some things, packing away some things as I was sorting. I was sitting Indian style on the floor in the loft, and as most of you know, upstairs in our apartment, half of upstairs is my son's room, and the other half is two little storage rooms with crawl spaces in them. So I've been trying to downsize for a while. So that's what I was doing. So I was sitting Indian style on the floor, just putting some dishes into some totes after I had wrapped them, and I got a really sharp pain. It was kind of alarming because I haven't had that kind of pain since I was in labor, well, almost 17 years ago, and I know for sure that I was not in labor, or I better not be. That would be some immaculate conception. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, so I got up, and as I got up, like, the pain just radiated down my right side on my abdomen, and yeah, just moving my right leg hurt, but not like shooting down my leg, just only on that right side of my abdomen. It was shooting across to my belly, so I thought, well, maybe it's gas, as I do have a lot of GI issues. I did, however, go to the bathroom, so I know that it wasn't that. And I speak of these things very openly, and I know some people get, like, bothered by it because I always say about everything else, I share because I don't want other people to feel like they can't and they have no one to identify with. You know, I feel that the more we talk about some of these things, it doesn't, you know, excuse me, I'm a little loopy still from the pain meds. But so I'm trying to think of the right phrasing, but I feel the more that we talk about it, we normalize and we make people feel less alone, so, and less isolated. So, I waited about an hour. I was all sweaty from going up and down the stairs all day, so I decided I needed to take a shower before I made my decision about anything. And the pain got worse. It didn't get any better. And so I looked up where I was having the pain, and, it could be several things, including appendicitis. And, it just got to the point where, like I said, just putting one foot in front of the other was so incredibly painful. It felt like stabbing sharp pain. And I just figured better to have it checked, especially since I had that issue about 9 days ago. So I called an ambulance and I went to the hospital. And they ran all the tests that they did 9 days ago again, just to make sure, because I just hadn't really been feeling right. I have been following a pretty bland diet. I haven't had coffee in 9 days, which, if you guys know me well, you know I love my coffee. It's hard for me to go that long without coffee. So that's been sucky, but what can you do? I guess in the scheme of things, it's not so bad. I haven't eaten anything fried. I don't normally anyway. But I've been eating extremely bland, like, toast that's dipped in broth, mild soups, rice, trying to think what else. Peeled fruit, because the peels can be hard to digest, like mashed potatoes, um, bananas, cereal that's been soaking in the milk for a while, lots of yogurt, which is fine, and scrambled eggs. I love eggs, so I never really tire of them, but I've been having a lot of eggs. So I've been taking it easy, allowing my esophagus to heal, but even when I eat a little bit, it just feels like it's all like in a lump in the center of my chest. So that's frustrating. I've been drinking mostly water, and I usually allow myself 1 can of diet ginger ale that I've shaken most of the carbonation out of. So that helps to settle my stomach. But, I've been nauseous quite a bit. But getting back to this evening, thankfully I was given some pain meds through the IV, and some fluids. I was afraid that I was going to start throwing up again. I didn't want to do that because, well, then we risk setting myself back from the healing that I've had in the past 9 days from the esophageal tear. So it was found that I have some inflammation in my colon and some ulcerations, which is from UC, ulcerative colitis. So it's just a really, really severe UC flare. And I don't get why this is happening now because, like I just explained, I've been on a very bland diet. Of course, there's been some stress, because I've got stuff to do here. I've got a life to live, and, I know I need to rest and take it easy, but as many of you moms know, if we don't do it, it doesn't get done, and I want to be able to do the things that I need to do, and I know I have to prioritize my health and my rest right now. And I want to, be able to go back to Instacarting and DoorDashing so I can supplement my income. And I am so grateful for those of you who donated to my GoFundMe. But, I still need to be able to go back to work. And I was hoping to go back, not this Monday because we're supposed to have, I should say, a really severe blizzard. But sometime in the next week, I had planned to go back to work a couple of hours a day because, we really need the extra income because, even with the Social Security coming in, there's only so far that can stretch. So I guess that little bit of stress, just added to it. Now I'm worried how much the prescriptions will cost, but I do have some of the GoFundMe that I saved just in case, this situation would happen again. I try to keep like $100 like on the side for extra medication, and hopefully it won't be that much. Yeah. I have, trying to think. I have to take prednisone and something called Asacol, which is for the healing of my colon, and dicyclamine helps with the cramping. So, I'm grateful for all of that. I believe they all come in generic, so it shouldn't be that much, thankfully. For those of you who aren't aware, I only have Medicare hospital and doctor coverage. I don't have prescription drug coverage, so none of my meds are free. I go through GoodRx, and the reason why I do that is because with Medicare you have to pay a premium for Part C, which is your prescriptions, and I'd still have to pay a copay for each prescription. So by the time I would pay for the coverage and the copay too, it would end up being more. So it would be like me chasing my tail. So that's why I don't have any coverage. So anyway, guys, I am still a little bit loopy from the painkiller. I had to take an Uber home. Um, I felt like so silly going there like twice in 9 days. But I was scared. Better to be safe than sorry. So I'm going to be going to sleep. I have my heating pad on the right side of my stomach to help with the discomfort. It's not nearly as bad as it was when I called the ambulance. I just ask for your prayers and your thoughts. I'm always sending love to you guys from New Jersey. I will talk with you soon and get back to making what you're used to as far as videos. Maybe I'll do a couple of chats like while I'm recovering, tell you guys some stories. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for your support so far. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a good night, guys. Bye.